Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode with me, your host Abdullah, on my show, Just Friends with Abdullah. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support that you've been showing me throughout all these months, even during my break. I really appreciate it. Today, we got a spicy topic to talk about. As you guys know, when I try to choose a topic for any of the episodes that I shoot, I try to think of something that really is affecting us as just regular people on day-to-day basis, how we navigate our lives and how we try to improve them and how we interact with others. And I think today's topic is one of the fundamental basic struggles and challenges people face on daily basis, perhaps even in a matter of seconds, minutes and hours every day of their lives. Something that all impacts us all, which is how do we trust? What is trust? And how do we employ trust in others, and how do we build trust and a connection with others? Today's topic, I think, is something that will touch you in ways you never thought about before. It's something so deep and so perspective based that nobody can give you a straight answer. But on this show, on this program, I will try. Welcome to Just Friends with Abdullah. As I mentioned, it's not something easy to talk about. In fact, it's one of the hardest topics to even discuss, which is how to develop trust and how to build trust with others. You see, this is a hard topic because nobody develops trust in the same way. It's a case-by-case situation and most of the time, and it's a very personal thing. So my way could work on many aspects and many things, but your way may not apply to my way, and vice versa. So it is a very personal question, but I'm gonna try my best to kind of give you maybe guidelines and roadmaps on how to achieve the trust that can help you progress in life and that can help you truly know people on an intimate level and develop a bond, an unbreakable bond, if I'm being honest. For some, trust can be intuitive, based on interaction and experiences with people. For others, it can be based on the need to share, to relieve your burden, because life can be so stressful and can be hectic and can place an emotional stress on you and you need people around you that you can trust and that you can talk to them about and that you can share this information with. So it's not quite the same for everybody, as I mentioned earlier. It's something very profound and deep. I think it's deep in the heart and souls of people. When you try to trust, or when you're trying to build that trust, you're showing a vulnerable side of yourself, and that side can be taken advantage of, and at the same time that side can be damaged and hurt and traumatized for a very, very long time. And I've seen it. People who trusted once upon a time ago, many of friends, family, colleagues, whatever it is, after being betrayed, they were never the same. So as I said earlier in my intro, it's a very personal thing. Forming trust is a natural inclination all human beings have. We're all societal creatures. We need each other. No one can tolerate loneliness, and that's why we want to form a connection, and that connection is based on trust. But at the same time, trust is such a complicated matter because it's based on another person's feelings. It's not something that you can completely control or even have an ounce of, decision making in. It's really based on a situation. It's based on the other person's intentions, and it's based on how those circumstances turn out to be. Completely unpredictable, right? And actually scary for many people. And it's very scary because it can lead into building walls. It leads into betrayal and losing that love for close people, for family, for friends, people that you thought were on your corner, but not anymore because they betrayed your trust. Now, I'm not an expert on how to trust people and how you could trust and develop it. But what I will try to do in this episode is I'll try to give you some rules of thumb to use and navigate how you can form that trust, how you can build it, and how you can truly establish it in a meaningful way. And these are 3 rules that I use in my personal life. Some of them work. Actually, they more or less work, but they are not without their risk, and I'll explain why in each of them. But these are things that personally worked for me. And on this channel, as I said before, it's a channel to help people out there figure out the best way to deal with crisis, personal crisis, societal issue, interactions, and all those, problems that may seem minuscule for others, but they're big for you, and they're big for so many people out there, and they affect our daily lives every day. There are many ways where trust is seeked and formed. It can be based on building a business with a partner. It can be based on a marriage and a relationship. It can be based on infidelity. It can be based on confiding on a secret, and I can go on and on and on. I don't want to spend all 5 hours here or all day talking about these things. I think these are kind of obvious, but everybody has their own unique take on trust and how they use it with others. And I'll try, like I told you, address these 3 things that I use as an exercise to guide me into forming a good, trusting relationship with the people that I care about and that are important for me. Number 1, and I think this is probably the most important thing, know the person that you're trusting, but not in the way that you think. It's kind of straightforward, but isn't at the same time. Let me paint a picture. Let's use someone called Alex. Alex is a friend who is great, you have a great relationship with. Alex is someone that you confide with and you tell them secrets, and they're a great, consoler. They're somebody that you can talk them through your traumas and issues, and they keep secrets and they don't tell anyone at all. At the same time, Alex is somebody who is reckless and irresponsible. You see the picture I'm trying to paint? So Alex is not someone that you would probably lend your car to, or even place a responsibility on them to do, because they're reckless, they're careless, they may crash the car. If, for example, you get them to use your house for a week, something may go missing, and not that he will steal, but he may misplace it, and so on and so forth. So the example I'm trying to paint here is that there are strengths and weaknesses in all people in terms of what they can handle, right? It's your job as a person to know what kind of trust or the burden of trust you're placing upon them. You see, I have this theory. It's very unfair to the other person that you're placing all great expectations or all burden of trust or whatever that you do on them. It doesn't work like that. People have weaknesses and people have strength. It's your job as a person to analyze the situation, and that's through obviously interacting with them, spending time with them, knowing what is workable with them, what kind of trust works with them. And it's very easy to mitigate that or even eliminate it, because the more you spend time with that person, then you truly know what is the trust factor that comes into play and how you can sort of choose the right approach with that person. So again, using Jack, tell them your secrets, share with them, and they're going to be the best confiders, the people who truly console you and be on and stand by you through those emotional tough times. But don't give something to Jack that he can't handle. Don't give him a car. Don't let him stay in your house, for example, as I mentioned in my example, my story. Don't give that responsibility to Jack. It's unfair on him or on them, on those people that are not capable of doing it. So it's critical. It's a very critical part to know the kind of person that you're dealing with, and that takes time, yes, but I think that will also help you a lot, and that's something I apply in my life. The second layer of how you can possibly build trust is experience. Yes, as I said earlier, some of these points are not foolproof, and experience can go bad for sure. But if you're not able to go through that experience and spending time with that person, whether it's going to be traveling, whether it's talking to them, whether it is testing them, in some ways, how are you going to truly know if you can trust them in certain things or not? It's a very delicate thing. It's not trust, especially for some people, can easily lead them, or a broken trust or betrayal can easily lead them to spiraling out of control into depression or chronic sadness, or all the ugliest things that we don't want people to go through. So when you want to experience how you want to develop that trust, I think by slowly giving someone small dosages of whatever you wanna entrust them with, whether it's a story, whether it is an experience, or whether it is many different examples of forms of trust. You prop them up slowly, right? And know their limits, right? And know how they can help you or how they can't help you. And I think that only comes down to experience. For sure, you're definitely gonna face and this is an unfortunate reality. For sure, you are definitely going to face disappointment, and it's unavoidable, and it's something that's always going to be there, but you have to accept that. You can't really outrun that. With experiences, disappointments do come. What we're hoping here is that you learn more about that person, you learn how and assess that person, and perhaps the tests that you apply are not super serious that can be detrimental to you personally. There can be things that are small things here and there, asking them to do something, seeing if they're capable, seeing if they're willing to you tell them a secret, but it's not a big secret to you, and see if it's going to be spreading. So these are the small things that you need to be aware of and kind of keep your mind wrapped up around, and that in that way you can truly develop something real, and that is ultimate trust. Principle number 3 that I go with as well is how they see you. Maybe it's dependent from person to person, but I think the more someone respects you, values you, and this can come in different forms. It can come in a superficial way, or it can come in a truly authentic way. The more someone values you and respects you and knows how important they are or you are to them in their lives, the more they're gonna try to gain your trust, but in a positive way, and try to live up to your expectations. So you also need to evaluate how someone really sees you, right? If it's someone who truly values your friendship or relationship or whatever it is, and has so much respect for you, or you sense from them that you have such an impact and a strong impact on their life, and they can't think of a life without you, that is a green flag indicator of signaling a strong trust, right? Of course, as I said, it's not a guarantee, and none of these are guarantees, but these are ways that we're playing the percentage game, right? And where the percentage game is that these are things that are going to help you increase the percentage of a stronger bond, stronger trust with whoever you're dealing with. If they see you in a certain light, that light of impact and respect and how much value you have for them in their lives, automatically it's within their benefit to have a strong trust base and foundation with you. So that's another one that you just keep in mind. And the last one, but it's not and might be important, but it's not super important for the other person, but it's important for you, is acceptance. What does acceptance mean? Acceptance that betrayal happens. It's human being, it's our nature. Some people are gonna disappoint you. Some people that if you can find in them are gonna share your secret. Some people that if you date them, they're gonna cheat on you. Infidelities happen. Some people are gonna just screw you over. That's human beings' nature. And if you develop this acceptance that people are flawed and circumstances change, and someone that you thought can be trustworthy 10 years ago are not the same 10 years later, that's just the cycle of people, the cycle of access, the cycle of growth, maturity, lack of maturity, change, you name it, just whatever we go through as human beings, everything in one. So it's unavoidable in many cases, and the sooner you accept it, the faster you're able to cope with such situations, and the faster you're able to move on and be like, okay, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. And this is not easy for many people, right? It's not easy for many people to put themselves in that position of just accepting that things did not go their way and the plan did not work. If you are in that mind frame, or if you're in that state of mind where you understand human cyclical mental scope of things, you understand how the brain works, you understand how emotions work, you're already ahead of the game. What I mean is, you understand that hurt or betrayal or disappointment is just part of the process. It's part of our interaction, and it's part of how we grow, how we get accustomed, how we build, right? Now, obviously, there are bigger prices to pay. After a marriage of 10 years, it's a disaster if someone is betraying you and betraying your trust, right? Maybe because it could lead to a divorce, affect kids, family. It's a whole different composition compared to just a simple, someone stealing from you something cheap in the house, right? Like it's totally different. But I think if you apply these things much earlier on the smaller cases and you have this acceptance, the trauma or the damage that it can have to your heart and mind is gonna be much lesser, and that will obviously help you handle the situation better and handle the person who betrayed you much better, and obviously allow you to move on faster. Again, guys, these are not perfect ways. These are things I use personally. These are things that I also keep in mind. By no means they are the foolproof, bulletproof approaches and way of thinking, but they have helped me a lot. They honestly did help me a lot, and it's allowed me to trust some people. It's allowed me to understand who I trust, who I don't trust, and what kind of trust do I give them. Critical, as I said first, what kind of trust I give them, and that comes down to knowing the person that you're dealing with and you're talking with. And that's it, guys. A bit of a longer video, but I think it was a good one to help you guys with this information. I hope you like the content. Don't forget to like, subscribe the show, and I'll continue to roll out all my good vibes with you. Thank you.